Hey everyone, my name is Josh and I'm one of the advisors here at IES Abroad. If you're watching this video, that means you're planning to go to the UK this year with IES. We are so excited for you and hope you're getting excited too. In this video, I'm going to walk you through the steps of how to get a Tier 4 visa. There's more information about this in your pre-departure information, but this will be a great overview of the process and should give you everything you need to know in order to get your visa. So let's get started. Do you need a Tier 4 visa? First off, you will need a visa if you're doing an internship or service learning placement, if you're a health practice and policy student for the service learning component again, or if you're going to London for the academic year. Possible exception might include if you're traveling on a non-US passport. Other requirements might apply to you. You may need a visa even if you're not doing any of these things, or you might not need a visa at all. So again, look in your pre-departure info for more guidance on this. Otherwise, contact us and we can help you out as well. Some things to keep in mind. First off, this process takes time. It's best to get started earlier rather than later. It shouldn't cause you too much trouble as long as you do things on time, but there are quite a few steps, so keep that in mind. Next, things may change. Every year, it seems like something else changes with the Tier 4 visa process, so our materials are right to the best of our knowledge, but it's likely there could be some differences. We update things every semester, but sometimes things get changed without our knowing about it. Lastly, it's your responsibility. Visas are a legal requirement, and we can't do it for you at the end of the day. But we're here to help answer any questions, and hopefully this is a good start. And this is an overview of what the process will look like. I'll be going through each of these steps individually. But to start out, you want to make sure that you have a valid passport, and you'll complete forms in your My IES Abroad account. You've received your CAS statement, which has a number which you'll use to apply for your visa online. You'll apply for your visa online and pay the fee, go to your biometrics appointment to get your fingerprints taken, and then mail in your documents. And just a tip, this process is like a stack of dominoes, really. You can't skip one step and move to the next one. The steps have to be done in order. And if you do them out of order, you might need to go back and do a step that you've already completed. So this one kind of goes without saying, but the first thing you want to do is make sure that you have a valid passport. Your passport should be valid until 6 months after the program ends and have at least 2 blank pages in it. And if you don't have this right now, don't have a valid passport, make sure to start the application process as soon as possible. It can take around 2 to 3 weeks to get a passport, if not longer. You'll also need your passport for your biometrics appointment. So if you have this at home right now and you're at college, talk to your parents about getting that. Maybe pick it up when you're at home so you have it when you go to your biometrics appointment. Completing forms. So as I mentioned earlier, you need a CAS statement to start the online visa application. And in order to issue you this, we need some info from you first. First thing we need is your confirmation form. This is you confirming your place in the program with your $500 deposit. Your passport upload, which is just a scan of your passport. Your UK immigration form, which has some information including your birth date, passport number, and other information. If you can, don't wait for the deadline to submit these forms. The sooner you get started on completing them, the better. And the sooner we can get you your CAS statement, you can get started. Next, getting your CAS statement. So we can only begin processing CAS statements around 90 days before your program begins. And again, this will include a number which you'll need to start the online application. It usually takes around 2 weeks for us to process this after we get all of your documents. It can take a little bit longer when we're busy. But if it's been a while, send us an email and we will try to get that to you soon. After this, you'll apply for your visa online. You'll go to the UK government's website. They have an application which you'll complete there. And we actually have a really great guide for you. And we update it every semester, which has all of the questions that the application asks you. And we guide you through what you should select for each question. So make sure you open that up and have that with you when you're applying for your visa online. It will be a lifesaver for you and save you tons of time. Some other things to remember when you apply for your visa online. First off, this costs around $500. It's not cheap. So think about it as an investment in your education if you want to. And be ready to book your biometrics appointment on your visa application online. This is the only place that you can do this. So you need to be ready to book your appointment. And lastly, you don't need to purchase any VFS services. It might ask you at the end of your application to buy some courier services or some premium services. This is not required, and you don't need to purchase these. So once you've sent in your online application and then scheduled your biometrics appointment, go to your appointment on the day that you sign up for this. And be sure to bring your passport, CAS statement, and proof of submitting your online application, especially your passport. If you don't have these documents, they might not allow you to get your fingerprints taken, and you'll have to complete the application again. So last but not least, step 6, mailing in your documents. Within 5 days of your biometrics appointment, you should send in your passport, your proof of submitting your online application, and your biometrics data, which is usually some receipts, a copy of your CAS statement, and a prepaid UPS Express envelope for the return of your visa. And if they ask you for any sort of financial proof or proof of residence, U.S. citizens don't need this. Your CAS statement should satisfy this requirement, so don't stress about that. You don't need to include that information. Things to remember with this: only use UPS Express to mail your documents. Don't use U.S. Postal Service or any other company. This will be the best bet for you to get your visa documents to the processing center safely. And it usually takes around 15 business days to get your passport back with the visa attached inside. This doesn't include mailing time though, so keep that in mind, especially if you're doing it a little bit last minute. So once you've done all this, you should get your visa back and you'll be all set to go to London. So have a little party, you've done everything correctly. And this is just a sample schedule of kind of what that might look like for you. So 3 months before departure is a good time to make sure your passport is up to date and submit documents on your account. 2 months before you depart, you'll receive your CAS statement. 6 to 8 weeks before you depart, it's a good time to apply for your visa online. 5 to 6 weeks before departure, you'll go to your biometrics appointment and mail in your documents. Now, this is just a sample schedule. Yours may be a little bit different depending on when you submit your documents. You might get your CAS statement a little bit earlier or later, which would allow you to apply for your visa later or earlier. In general, though, make sure you do everything as soon as possible. And yeah, because that's best and it will give you a little bit more peace of mind. Some final thoughts. Non-US citizens. Much of the same info will apply to you, but there may be a few extra changes, things to keep in mind. Depending on your citizenship, you might need to submit some additional financial documentation. So pay close attention to any extra requirements. You will still be able to attend a biometrics appointment in the US, but can also attend an appointment in another country, maybe your home country, if that works for you too. Late applications. If you don't start the online application until like 6 weeks before you leave, you might want to expedite the visa process. This can cost around $200 to $300 extra, but you have a chance of getting your visa back sooner. If you wanted to do this, you would select this in step 4 when you're applying for your visa online. However, I don't recommend this as it usually isn't that much faster for how much it costs students. So hope this was helpful. We're really happy that you're planning to study in London this upcoming year, and I hope this makes you feel more prepared. Visas are without a doubt the least fun part of studying abroad, but I promise you it will all be worth it in the end. And if you have any questions, feel free to let us know. You can contact us by phone or by email with the information listed below, and we'd be happy to hear from you.